let's sit. We're going to do some, in fact, who has shoulder tension? This is a good, yeah. Okay, yeah, there's so much of this going on. We were doing just a shoulder class. I know what yours is. It's nothing to do with breathing. 6 hours surfing all day. So one thing about shoulder tension is, you know, we get it up here, and it's one of those pains that you can sit there for days, for weeks, for months, and you're like this, and you stretch, and you're trying to stretch it out, and while that gives you a sort of temporary relief, it won't fix it really. The first thing you really need to look at, and this is a whole other workshop, but is the breathing. It really is the way that you breathe, because you've got the two sets of muscles used, your primary respiratory muscles and then the secondary ones. And the primary ones are sort of the belly, the intercostals, and mainly the diaphragm that sits in the middle. And if those are tight, if there's tightness through those caused by being busy, caused by stress, because if the pelvic diaphragm is tight, then this diaphragm's tight, and so is this one, and it's all connected. But what we tend to do is when there's stress or tightness here, and it only has to be a small amount, so you sometimes don't even notice it, we start using the secondary respiratory muscles, which are the sort of sternocleidomastoid and the neck muscles and the shoulder muscles, the ones that get the lift and lower. And while they're there to help you breathe, and when you do take a deep breath in, they're good. That's what they're there for. If they're being permanently used, it's not their job. They get fatigued, and so that's where that tension comes from. So if you have got a low level, and it doesn't have to be a lot of tension through the feet, you know, if the feet are crammed into tight shoes and they're busy running around, your London people are worse. But it's true, right? We do everything at 10 times faster. But, you know, when you're busy, that tension travels from the feet up to the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor, if you sit now, even if you put your hand here, if you tighten your pelvic floor quickly, you'll feel this tighten. The diaphragm tightens, so does the diaphragm in the throat. So it really is trying to relax all of this. That's why they talk about belly breathing being so important. You're obviously not breathing with your in your belly because your lungs are in your chest, but when you breathe, the diaphragm, if moving correctly, moves up and down. So if you're seeing pictures of diaphragms, I think most people have, haven't they? But so it moves down and up. So as you inhale and the lungs expand, it pushes down, the belly comes out. Some people reverse breathe if they've carried years and years of stress, and they breathe in and go, and it's so hard to correct it. I've had students like for months were like, okay, we've got to reverse it, because the neck tension is unbelievable, and it just leads to this constant holding. So while we're working on shoulders and bits today and loosening that area, it's utterly useless unless we also really focus on the release with the exhalation, on that kind of letting go. And I always say it, but you have to give your body permission to release, because we put the tension there. We're the ones that put it there. We're like, I'm in a rush, I've got to do this, I'm busy, I'm stressed, and when it's cold, we put it there. So you've actually got to actively give it permission to let go. And it really, when you start working with the breath as well and using the breath as a tool, then the body will follow on. It suddenly goes, oh, okay. Because just that low level of activation of the nervous system, of the parasympathetic nervous system, puts you into that slight stress, which actually most people nowadays in society live in. Why we end up with such high levels of anxiety, sleep problems, various other things, is that low level that you don't even notice. You don't even notice it's there. You just think, oh, I just don't really sleep very well. There's a way around it. I'll take a pill, or I'll do something. We look for an external fix, but if we can look at the breath and start to use that. So as you're sitting now, just sit with your eyes closed. And recognize in your body as you breathe. What part of the body moves? Without trying to alter it, just being honest with yourself. How's it all working? Notice if you have got any tension, even holding through the feet. Give your toes a little wiggle or just relax the feet slightly. Any tension through the pelvic floor. If you're not sure if there's tension there, grip it really tightly and then let go. Does it feel like the diaphragm's actually able to move? Can you feel, or does that feel stuck? Again, if you're not sure, grip it tightly, let it go. Does your belly feel like it's moving? So really engage with that feeling of softening as you exhale. Because it really is also about the intention of letting go. So you can use that breath. You can lengthen your exhalation as you hold stretches, as we hold positions. Use the long exhale. And sitting up nice and tall, so nice long spine. On your next exhale, gently drop your chin towards your chest. So not trying to actively stretch, just using the weight of your head. Drop down and feel into it. See if you can use that nice exhalation to release and allow that tension to let go. Good, and then your inhale, lifting your chin towards the ceiling. So gently stretching through the front of the throat. Exhaling, chin to chest. Good. Inhaling, lifting the chin. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, chin to chest. And come back to a neutral position. So from here, hands rested onto the knees. Gently drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Again, notice if your shoulders hunch up, soften. Just feel into that stretch down the left side. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, stretch the left arm out alongside you on the mat. Good. And then keeping in this position, just gently tilt your chin towards your right armpit. And then come back up to the center. So bringing the left hand in. So gently dropping left ear towards left shoulder. And you can stretch the right arm down along the mat. If you think if you've got fatigued, overworked, tight muscles, aggressively stretching into them can really aggravate them. They just don't really like it. So we really want to be quite soft. And then gently tipping the chin towards the left armpit. And come back up to the center. So now just dropping chin to chest. Just do little half rolls with your head. Just mindfully. If your neck's anything like mine, I get this weird gristly sound. It's a really strange sound. It's the fascia. So I've got scar tissue, so it makes an odd noise. But do a couple of full head circles if it feels okay for your neck. Have you got it as well? Yeah. I remember doing it once, sitting with an ex-boyfriend. It was really quiet and I did it. And he's like, what? I didn't think anyone else could hear. Good, and slowly come back to the center. So just give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. And come onto all fours. So coming at it from another angle, we're going to turn the hands around so the fingertips point towards the knees. If you can't do this with the hands underneath the shoulders, move the hands back. Be nice to your wrists because you don't want to pull something. Fingers spread nice and wide. And then just slowly lean back till you find a stretch coming up the arm. Notice again any tension through the body, in the jaw, in the shoulders. It really is about finding that inner smile in each of these positions, just allowing your body to soften and relax. And then turning the hands back to face forwards. So now the fun one, coming onto the backs of the hands. So we spread the fingers wide, have the whole of the back of the hand against the mat. Trying to straighten the arms. If the arms don't fully straighten, that's fine. You're working towards straightening them. If they do fully straighten, you can gently lean back just a little bit and see if you can increase the stretch. But again, be really, really mindful of your wrists. Notice here any tension through the jaw. Wiggle it out through the tongue, the eyes, the shoulders. And then from here, just slowly coming back up. So tuck your toes under at the back, spread the toes nice and wide. Sit back onto your heels. Bring your arms out in front, and we're going to cross the right arm on top of the left, just taking the Garudasana bind. So we're stretching the fascia in the feet as well as working into the shoulders. So from here, we're going to draw circles, drawing nice big circles with the elbows. Good, and change the direction of the circles. Again, relaxing through the neck and through the jaw. Good, and release the arms. Just give them a little bit of a shake out. And then bring the left on top of the right. Good, so circles on this side. They don't have to be huge circles. Good, and change the direction. Good, and then releasing. Again, roll the shoulders forwards and backwards. Come back onto all fours and move into your cat-cow. So even as we're doing this, we're finding a softness with the movement, just exploring the spine. Start to circle your hips. And changing the direction of the circles. Coming back to the center. So bring the left hand to the center of the mat. Take the right arm out to the side. Inhaling, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach the arm through. Come all the way down to the shoulder. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, reach through. And inhaling, coming up. Exhale and reach through. And inhale, come back up onto all fours. So taking the right hand to the center of the mat. And then take the left arm out to the side. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, reach through. So see if you can keep the feet hip distance. They're going to try and wiggle. Inhale to come up. Exhale to reach through. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, reach through. And then come back up onto all fours. Walk your hands forward a hand's length. Tuck your toes. Stretch back to downward dog. So find the space, even in your downward dog. You know, if the hands are too close together, shoulder width, I mean, which part of the hand is supposed to be the width of the shoulders? Hand's quite wide. So play around with your shoulder width. If anything, take the hands a little bit wider to give the shoulders some space so we're not hunching up around the neck. Take the hands a little bit wider. Give your shoulders a break. Yeah, there. Can you feel this? Yeah. I can get my whole hand in there now. So work with them like that. It might feel a bit weird to start with, but shake your head out. Feel the weight of the head. It's a good little stretch weight. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat, coming into Uttanasana. Feet parallel. Let the head hang. Let the shoulders release. Let the arms get heavy. One of the things in yoga is this practice of brahmacharya, which is the correct use of energy. And we often, in anticipation of the next posture or what we're going to be doing next, we hold tension through the whole body, through the whole practice. And as we start to refine our practice, we start to really look into the use of energy. So when you're in a forward bend, you can activate the fronts of the legs, have the feet Pada Bandha active. You can activate Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, but then allow the rest to release. Good. And bring your hands onto the backs of your hips. On your inhale, come up to standing. Arms down by your side into Tadasana. Good. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Inhaling to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana and come back to your breath. So all of this really is it's such a personal practice. All of us teachers will throw different ways of doing it at you, different ways that have worked for us, because that's the only thing that we can really teach. But you've got to then explore all of those different things, explore what works in your body. How does it feel? On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to the heart center. Good. Inhale, floating your arms up. Exhaling, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Work the hands back alongside the feet. Inhale, look forwards to your flat back. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana and come back to your breath. What's tense that doesn't need to be? The jaw never needs to be tense. The tongue, the eyes, the face. So start there, relax. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to the heart center. Good. Inhale, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards, Uttanasana. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back, so really lengthening through the front body. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards, Uttanasana. Get the hands back alongside the feet. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. How's the breathing? When we stay present in every moment of the flow, it's amazing how much slower it feels. We really move into a meditative state when we're anticipating the next move. We've got so much going on in the brain. So much going on because we're thinking where we've just come from, how we just did in the last bit of the posture, where we're going with the next bit of the posture, then trying to breathe, then trying to move. It's a lot. So being present in each moment, letting go of the past, not thinking of the future. Inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to the heart center. One more. Inhaling, floating your arms up. Exhaling, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana and hold it here. You know what I was doing. Yeah, that's great. See there. Nice. It's that cue of the hands shoulder distance. It doesn't work for everyone. But on your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhale, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to standing Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to the heart center. Now grab a strap. You got a strap, Lynn? Run off. So we're going to stand in a strong mountain pose. So we really need to stand rooted through the feet. That little activation of Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, but so there's the softness for the breath. Bring the arms out in front. So having the hands slightly wider than shoulder distance. And as we come into these shoulder stretches, don't grip the strap really tight, because if you grip the strap really tight and then try and stretch your shoulders, it just doesn't really work. So take the hands up. Good. Root down through the feet as you lengthen up, and then take the arms back and just meet the stretch. Yeah. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, go a bit wider if you need to, it's fine. Just meet the stretch where it is. As you're here, push down through the feet, lift up through the crown of the head. So as you lengthen, you start to shift that energy, allow that stretch to release. You can just release in your mind to start with. Eventually it will follow. Good, and then slowly coming up. Release the hands down, give the shoulders a bit of a roll. But when we're trying to do all these binds and all these things, and we've got this tightness in the way, what stops you getting into it? So take the hands a little bit wider now. We're going to floss that tight bit that you were at. So we take the arms up. You're going to love this, Dan. Then you're going to take it back and you're going to go right the way down and then come right the way back up and right the way down and back up. Then you're going to go to just underneath that tight bit and just floss. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Slow it down. Notice again, if it's tight, like this, going, soften. Just look at how we communicate with our bodies while we're asking them to do things. Good. And then bring the arms back. Get rid of the strap. And come to the top of the mat. Give your shoulders just a little bit of a roll. So coming into Tadasana. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, swan dive forwards to Uttanasana. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga on knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards, left heel to the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga on knees, chest and chin. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana and hold it here. And on your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. So I'm going to give you options in Warrior One. We're doing a proper breakdown today, getting into all the niggly stuff, but it's important as we do this every week. When we come into Warrior One and high lunge, you have options of taking the arms shoulder distance. If you get pinching around the neck and the shoulders, this is nice. Traditionally, you've got it, Lynn can see it as well. Traditionally, you've got it where the hands come together. And often what happens when the hands come together is this. So you end up with the shoulders up by the ears, more shoulder tension. So while we're standing, can you see what I'm doing, Lynn? Yeah. So while we're standing, we're going to just go through. So when we take the arms up, it doesn't matter if they come up forwards or sideways. You turn the palms out. If you're doing it sideways, you turn the palms out. You're connecting the head of the arm bone back into the shoulder. Feel as you lift up, you'll feel your shoulder blades. Feel them plugged in, and then you can take your gaze up. But you can feel the space here, yeah? Excellent. So you can do that as well, coming forwards. As you bring the arms forward, you pull the head of the arm bones back, and you take the gaze up. You can feel as the arms come up that it starts to become slightly harder because there's a bit of resistance, which is what happens now when we put the hands together. But actually, your Warrior One, it's an extension of the spine anyway. You're coming in, and this works really nicely into the upper back. So when we bring the hands up, even if you bring them up together, if you try it just standing, put the hands together, pull the head of the arm bones back in. And as you lift the arms, take your gaze and let the upper back extend as you take the arms up. Can you feel the difference? Feel it really strong into the upper back. You can do it again if you take the arms out to the side, same thing, but you just have to, that way it takes you with it. That way you have to kind of move with it and extend the upper back and move into it. But they start to allow this space. So there's less tension as we take the arms up. Same in Utkatasana. When we take the arms up, we bring the hands out in front, and then we lift up, we feel that same extension of the upper back, because the arms either throw up like this. I feel nothing in my upper back at all, but this is all hunched up and this is tight. If I come up and I pull the head of the arm bones back in as I'm going, I feel it in my upper back now. So if I'm going to go up and continue, it's really strong in the upper back. So they're important little bits of a practice we do on repeat. Can you feel the difference of it? So choose whatever variations you want to play around with and add them into the next one. So coming to the top. On your inhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale and forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. Take a moment, just get yourself into the posture, what feels. Yeah, play around. So really plug the head of the arm bones in. Yeah, no, you're good. Pull the arms down, yeah, and then reach up, and then take the gaze up as well. Can you feel it? So you're pulling down and taking up. Yeah, take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga. It's all just little explorations. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhaling the left foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. So play around with this one. So just think, you're connecting the arm back into the shoulder, which is connecting in turn to the core, whether it's the back or the front, doesn't really matter. And breathe. Yeah, there. Feel the difference? Yeah. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to downward dog and hold it here. Again, this is just one, these are the silly little niggly things that when you add them into your practice, they make the world of difference. It starts to really change your practice. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, bend the knees, sweep the arms up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale and forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, high lunge this time, so the back heel stays lifted. Activate the back foot. Good. Drop the head of the arm bones back into the shoulders. Bend the left elbow. Take the hand down your back. And then use the right hand to encourage that elbow behind your head. So not holding with both hands, just holding that top one, yeah. And then lift the head back. So start to really open up through the whole left side. Good. Keeping that back foot nice and active, releasing the arms, bring them out in front, cross the left arm on top of the right, going again for the Garudasana bind. Inhale to lift up and exhale, fold to the inside of the front leg. As you fold, wrap that right sitting bone under so it doesn't just pop out to the side. Good. Releasing the bind, inhale, come back up to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog. Inhale the left foot forwards, come into your high lunge. It's again all about the back foot. Get the back foot active. And then bend the right elbow and use the left hand to guide that elbow behind your head. Coming afterwards. Good. So feel that opening through the right side body. Lift the gaze. See if you can take the head back slightly. It's quite intense. Notice if there's tension through the jaw, through the neck. Let it go. Releasing the bind. Bring the arms out in front. Right arm on top of the left. Garudasana bind. Inhale and lift the elbows. Exhale, folding onto the inside of the left leg. Keep the back leg active. Depends how low you can get. Yeah. If you can get in there, go for it. Yeah. Yes. There. Yeah, if you can get down low, get on the inside of it. I'd release the bind on the inside here. Inside. Bring the arms up. Lost my words. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. Exhale back to your downward dog and come back to your breath. Feel. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana, connect to the shoulders. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. So don't go as low, Rachel, and focus more on your shoulders. Okay, get them down. I know, shoulder tension, we're going to work on that. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, forward fold to Uttanasana. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, high lunge. Good. Now circle the hands back behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. So either palms together or apart like that, whichever one that works. Extend the arms away. So lifting the gaze towards the ceiling. See if you can lift your arms up, away from the back leg or the back, depending on where you are. Take a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, fold forwards onto the inside of the front leg and lift the arms up and over your head. Good. Inhaling, slowly come back up, release the bind, take the arms up to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling the left foot forwards, come into your high lunge. So circle the hands behind you. This time, take the weird grip. So we have the one grip that's comfortable, and then we swap the fingers over to get the weird one. Good. Roll your shoulders back, extend your arms away. Feel the difference. See if you can lift the gaze and then lift the arms. Breathe into the stretch, soften the bits that don't need to be tense. Allow your body to release. And releasing, take a nice deep breath in, nearly forgot the forward fold. Exhale and fold forwards. So lift the arms up over your head or in that direction. Connect to your core and then release the bind. Inhale, come up to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga. Keep that back leg strong, Rachel. Don't let the knee bend. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog and hold it here. And on your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale, sweep your arms up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, Virabhadrasana. No, not Virabhadrasana. One high lunge. Don't know where my brain just went, sorry. So here again, we're going to take the hands back behind us. Interlace the fingers, whichever bind. Extend the arms away. Lift the arms up. Lift the gaze. This time, see if you can extend back just a little bit further. Try not to drop into the lower spine. Give that front of the shoulders, the tight bits, permission to release. Good. Now releasing the bind with the hands, bring the arms out in front. Step onto the front foot, bringing the left leg out in front. So as we sit, we come into the Garudasana bind with the left leg, cross the right arm on top of the left, coming into our eagle. Lift the elbows, draw the hands away from the face. So you can either stay here, or if you want to, you can release the bind with the hands and fold forwards. Now, either variation, inhaling, step back to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling the left foot forwards, come into your high lunge. Circle the hands back behind you, and again, take that weird interlace. Good, extend the arms, roll the shoulders back. Soften around your neck, around your jaw. Lift the arms away. See if you can extend and lift the gaze, going a little bit further. So really opening through the heart space. Good. And then releasing the bind. Bring the arms in front, transfer the weight to the left foot. So sitting down and taking the bind on this side, left arm on top of the right, take the bind with the arms. Lift the elbows, draw the hands away from the face. So if you're enjoying this stretch, just stay here. If you did it on the other side, release the bind with the arms and fold forwards. Good. On your next inhale, step back to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga on knees, chest and chin. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So from here, float the right leg up and bring the right knee forwards, coming into pigeon pose on this side. Good. Walk the hands back alongside the hips, roll the shoulders back, soften around the neck. Just holding it here for a few breaths, allow for that release. Good. Then bring your hands to the mat, tuck the back toe, step back into your downward dog. Then floating the left leg up. Bring the left leg forwards, coming into pigeon on this side. Soften around the shoulders. So you're rolling the shoulders back, allowing the front body to open. Pull the shoulder blades into the back of your rib cage. Then bring your hands to the mat, tuck the back toe, step back into your downward dog. So from here, lower down to your knees. Have your strap close by, have it close to your knees. And have a cork, not a cork, a foam brick close by. So from here, we're going to bring the knees together. I'm going to lift up the left leg. Cross it behind the right knee, and then open the feet out nice and wide. Yeah, so you've got your right knee in front, and then sit back. So grab a block. If you don't get to the floor, however many blocks required. I threw the pigeon pose in there as a bit of a warm-up for this, because it's a bit mean to just throw you straight into this one. Use another one as well if you want. So grab the strap. If you know you don't get the bind in this, use a strap. If you know you do get the bind, then don't use the strap. So you're going to take the strap into the left hand and take the arm up. Bend the elbow. So you've got the strap dangling down your back. And then internally to rotate the right hand. So we're trying not to let the shoulder collapse forwards. Take the arm back behind you, bend the elbow and see if you can bind with the hands. So either binding to the strap or finger to finger. We're working that left elbow behind the head, just for fun. Yeah, I know, right? That's what happens when you get that bind. It kind of pulls it in, but you've got to kind of have the room in the tricep and the shoulder and the... If you've got the elbow comfortably behind your head, again, see if you can just lift the head back slightly, work deeper into it. Use the long exhalation here, soften. Soften through, just scan of your body, toes, hips, tummy, face, even the fingertips. We can create this bind, and this tension travels all the way up the arm into the shoulders. If we're gripping the strap, same thing. So notice if you can soften through the hands a little bit. There's a softness to strength in yoga, in martial arts as well, all these things, there's a real softness. Good. And then slowly releasing. Lower your arms by your side, just feel for a second. And then we're going to all do a funny twiddle around. We're going to see if we can all do it for amusement's sake. Hands to the mat. Come up onto your toes. Going with us, Lynn. So you lift up onto the feet. Walk the hands around to your left and just let your feet spin around with you. You don't need to move your feet at all. They'll follow you around. And sit back down. Did we all get it? Awesome. Very advanced yoga posture move. So taking the strap into your right hand, if you're going to be using it, take the arms out, right arm up, bend the elbow. So you internally rotate the left arm, and without collapsing forwards completely, take the arm back, bend the elbow. See if you can bind on this side. Do you want another block to sit on? It's a good one for you to do. It's a really good one for you to do. But if it's too much, just ignore it. Better? Yeah. If it's too much. Yeah. Let's see if you can lift your head. Take the head back into that top arm. So Martha, try and get that elbow. Just says no. Yeah. So, just one of those things. What you can do when this posture comes up in classes, if you're trying to just work on that top one, forget the other one and just practice this. Back out of it and just practice this, because then that gets into that. Because if that's not working, yeah. Yeah, do that. We overcomplicate it sometimes. And release. Just feel. Yeah, sometimes some of these postures, if you've got an old injury or just that you're tight on one side, which we all are, one side's always tighter than the other, but Sometimes just backing out and doing a half variation, you get more from it. Good. So we're going to cross the legs over again. You can twiddle, didn't mean to do that, twiddle around if you want to. And we're going to cross. You're going to have your right foot over the top. So here we're going to practice binding. I say practice, we're going to just work in and see how you go with it. Who gets into the bind easily on this twist? Don't know, let's see. So when we come into this twist, binds are a lovely practice, but if they are too much, you can see if you end up having to come into it and having to really hunch, it's too much sometimes. So we do it in stages again. And a nice way of doing it, you need to have that knee somewhere behind that armpit in order to get the bind, because the logistics are you've only got two joints, a shoulder and an elbow, and well, you've got the wrist. But so if you come into a twist and it's here and your arm's here, there's no way that bind's going to happen. So you can hook the arm and bring yourself round, which I think is a really nice variation. And you often get really deep into the hip with that and get a really good rotation. What can happen when we hook is we get into this obsession with hooking and you collapse in the spine and then you can't twist the same way. So just practice whichever one of them. This creates tension around the upper back and shoulders. This doesn't. So find the variation that works for you. And if you work into the bind, if you've got that hook and the knees up behind the armpit somewhere and you've got a good deep twist, you internally rotate the left arm, take it through, then you reach the right one round and take hold. Find the one that works for you, the one where there's not unnecessary tension around the neck and the shoulders. Good, so Rachel, sit up tall now. Is it your hip that was tight? Is it tight on the hip? Do you runners? It is. I mean, it's great. You know, you're fit and healthy, but when you run up and down cliffs for fun, you get tight hips. They run up and down a lot of cliffs. Good. And then release, come back to face forwards. So swap onto the other side. So play around on this side. It might be totally different. Again, wonky people. So when you twist, does it feel like you might want to move as we hold the twist? You might want to start in a hook or a wrap and then go into a hook and then work into a bind. What we're trying to avoid is that hunching up around the neck and then wrapping the arm under and collapsing in the spine. So again, now you've got the bind, Rachel. Use that bind to contain you and push down through the sitting bones and lift up there. Doesn't matter if you don't immediately straighten right up, but with the intention of working in that length and direction, your body will follow. Once you've got, yeah. So you're doing the same thing, push down through the sitting bones and then lift up through the crown of the head. So really use that bind to get more length now. The last couple of breaths. Good. And then release, come back to face forwards. Find a comfy sitting position. Sit on a block if you find that your knees don't just drop down. If they're up here, sit up on a block. I would normally sit on a block, but I throw it over to you. So we're going to do a couple of minutes of Bhramari Pranayama, which is a really lovely humming bee breath. It's a really nice, calming, soothing breath to do in the evening. It's lovely. If your nervous system's a bit jangly, it's really nice because it stimulates the vagus nerve, which stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. And also the long exhale stimulates it as well. So to do this, we withdraw senses. We do a sense withdrawal. So we have 2 fingers across the eyes, thumbs go into the ears, and then the ring finger rests on the side of the nose and the little finger rests on the corners of the mouth. So we breathe in through the nose, and it's very simple, and hum. Really simple, really lovely breath. So we'll do this for 2 minutes, just at your own pace. Finishing the round that you're on, relax your hands into your lap or onto your knees. Sit with eyes closed as we finish just in a few minutes of meditation. So just allow any tension from the hips and the pelvic floor to let go. Just really soften into the breath. and breathe into here. Get used to breathing into that deeper part of your belly like to try and So from here, just bringing the hands in front of your heart center into prayer. Take a moment again just to show gratitude to your body. Say thank you, say I love you. Feel the reaction in your body. Feel if it has a physical reaction when you say those words. We'll close chanting 3 Oms together. So taking a nice breath in for Om. Gently bowing your head. Namaste. Just so you know, when I say bow your head, I mean, I have said this before, but just in case I haven't said it to any of you, you're not bowing your head to me. I know I'm sitting in front of you, but we're not bowing to whoever's sitting in front of us. That's completely nuts. You're bowing to your, well, it is. It's like, yeah, I mean, who am I to bow to? You're bowing to your higher self. You're bowing to this kind of this greater version of you, this one that really sits, the divine. You're divine.